like that. All right. Let's get down to business. So we're going to hear from the man himself, our very own general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. Every dollar counts. Let's see what he says. I think we should get straight to it as far as what he actually has to say about the trade going through. Obviously, every reporter there wanted to ask him about Max Crosby. So here we go. We got every dollar counts going over there.
I mean, I understand it. I understand it. We live in that age of skepticism and people question, especially people that don't really know me or know the Ravens culture and the Ravens organization. So I understand it. As I said at the beginning, we've got a responsibility. I've got a responsibility to the Ravens, to this community, to our fans, and to Steve Bisciotti to do what we think is best for the club. And that's what we always try to do. Every decision we make is based on this idea. Is this the best thing for the Ravens? It's very, very challenging. Again, I understand how people might maybe from afar would feel that way, but nobody's more upset about this than me. Gutted by it, actually. And so a big regret for me. But we will move on as a football team, and I think there's many, many opportunities for us to grow as a team, to become a better team, to build a roster, and to be the team that we want to be.
You made a good point.
All right.
On Monday.
So that is every dollar counts. Eric DaCosta talking about what happened. We're going to go over that as well. But obviously, there's a lot happened here in the last couple of days. So let's go over it as well. We're going to go over the NFL. But tonight we're talking about free agency as well, because it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been unbelievable what's happened here. So blockbuster trade. March 10th for the Ravens, 2 first-round picks to the Las Vegas Raiders was reneged, used a spades term by the Ravens, due to a failed physical. So whatever the physical ailment was, Ravens were aware, from what I do understand, that there was some injury issues with Max Crosby, whatever. He did recently have a surgery. They brought him in. What happened after that? Ravens backed out of the deal. I thought that was fascinating. The Raiders were very, very clear about who. No, they didn't take any response. No, they over there. You guys over there. Y'all backed out. The Ravens. They backed out of the deal. What happened next morning? This happened this morning. Trey Hendrickson signs a 4-year, $112 million deal March 11 with the Ravens as well. So, a couple things here. Ravens now, obviously, with the deal being over, there is 2 first-round picks that they will get back. So they're back on the clock at 14 in this coming NFL draft as well. So I can't. This is the. Being content creator today, I can't wait to hear the comments. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Is what I would have went live earlier today, but obviously I had to work today, so I couldn't obviously go live today. But I got to tell you, I was really, really, really in shock by this move. Is whatever. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Eric DaCosta was being genuine there? He didn't. By the way, he didn't deny that he didn't say no that this is overblown, whatever. He didn't go into details, whatever. I do believe, and this is just what I think here, he capitulated. I do think that's what happened. I think Trey Hendrickson was available where they didn't think he would be. I think he looked at it and said, you know what? This guy's this deal maybe isn't what we thought it was. We don't need to do this, because he didn't really want to give up those draft picks. And we all said it. That was way out of line, way out of character for Eric DaCosta to give up those type of draft picks. Now, EDC gets to keep his draft picks and bring in Trey Hendrickson, a guy he's very familiar with, very successful with Cincinnati. Is he as good as Max Crosby? I don't think so. not at his best. Had some injury issues last year himself. However, I do think he did not want to give up the picks. Now, another thing he said also, which was fascinating, that he was trying to get both guys. I don't buy that. I don't believe you. He wasn't spending $20 million, $30 million on both edges. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Now, it may be true. I don't know. Maybe some of you believe that. I don't. I'm saying no. I'd be shocked if he was spending that type of money on both edges. But that being said, the sneaky way, as angry as people were, as angry as the Raiders were, whatever, this is what they wanted. They got a big-time edge rusher to help the defense, really help a soft spot, a spot on the defense that was really helped. And they actually now get to not lose 2 first-round picks. They get to keep their pick. They can start Trey Hendrickson on one side, Mike Green on the other. Or they could go in the draft, get Cassius Howell, look at the offensive line. I'm sure they're going to be looking at offensive line, and we're going to go into free agency, the other parts of it here in a second. But it was quite a week as well. And I'll say this fans, and I know some people think this happens way more than you think. This is big time in terms of the caliber of player. It's a little unusual, but I thought about this. I talked about this last night. Where Dante Culpepper years ago and Drew Brees were free agents. Dolphins were in the catbird seat to sign these 2 free agents. They were going to sign Drew Brees when he was going to go right before he went to New Orleans. They backed out of the deal because of injury concerns, and they wound up signing Culpepper. Culpepper winds up starting for them, getting injured himself, and it didn't work out as well. Drew Brees goes on, and the rest is history, becomes the top 10 quarterback in the history of the NFL for the Saints and wins the Super Bowl for them. So physicals aren't things that are, and it's not a league thing. You don't have to have a physical to do a trade. They could have done it without the physical. It's happened before. They could waive the physical. The Ravens have actually waived this. So we'll see how this works. But all's well. I think all's well. Look, getting Trey Hendrickson, I think, factored into this. We'll see. We're never really going to know, but this was fascinating. Now we're talking as well. Other news. What stayed in the door? Awuzie was a big surprise for the Ravens last year. 1 year, $5 million guaranteed. He's sticking around. So now we're here after the deadline, and Marlon Humphrey's still here. He wasn't cut, so we'll see how that goes, how the money goes. But Marlon, Awuzie, and Wiggins. So we'll see how they feel about that as far as corners. Really hoping that Tyler Huntley resigned. He did 2 years, $5 million. Durham Smythe, a 5-year $1 million. So they're going to look. They had to resign Tyler Huntley. You had to keep him. You had to go ahead and bring him back as well, considering how much trouble you had. Now you've resigned Tyler Huntley. What do you do with Cooper Rush? I didn't see any move on that. He's still here. Are you going to keep 3 guys or just release them at some point? Or keep 3, we'll see about that. Durham Smythe from the Bears. So this is a guy that's familiar with Declan Doyle, the new offensive coordinator here as well. Wait a second. Declan Doyle as well. That's a guy that's going to go ahead and be a blocker tight end. So we'll go over the losses as well. But tight end certainly a need now with all the moves as well. Ravens re-signed John Simpson, 3 years, $30 million. Simpson played with the Ravens in 2023, 3 years, $30 million. I think he was with the Jets. This is funny because they didn't want to give him this contract years ago. They had so many troubles at guard with John Simpson gone. So had you just given him this type of contract before, you may not have had all the troubles that you had. So you seek out John Simpson to fix your guard problems when you would have had him maybe if you had signed him. So I think that's quite fascinating here as well. It's kind of got lost in all the Max Crosby, Henderson, all that stuff. But I think that's a fascinating thing. So they're actually bringing him in. What went out the door? A whole lot. Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, $81 million. That's $27 million per for Linderbaum. He is going to be a Raider. He's got a teammate now, Max Crosby. The Ravens were not going to pay this price. There's an old poker term, too rich for my blood. That's what this was. They were willing to give him more than Humphrey, 20, 21 million. They paused every time it got to this type of number. They paused. That's why they didn't give him the 5th-year option. This is why they didn't franchise him. This is why they didn't pay it in free agents. The Raiders did. $27 million. Clearly, I think Linderbaum might have been the best player in all free agency. Certainly the best offensive lineman, certainly best center as well. A lot of guys going to the Giants. That's not a shock. Isaiah Likely, 3 years, $40 million, going to the Giants. He's going to go ahead and be the starting tight end for the Giants. Draymond Jones going to the Pats as well, playing with former coach Mike Vrabel. 3 years, $39 million. That doesn't surprise me there as well. The amount of money Charlie Kolar got is a bit much. This guy was a third tight end, not really a pass catcher blocker. Again, playing for Harbaugh. Again, this time the brother, Jim Harbaugh. 3 years, 200. 3 years, $24.3 million as well. Alohi Gilman acquired in a trade for Ole last year. He signed with Kansas City Chiefs because they had a need, obviously, there as well, because they lost a lot of secondary help. Also, Giants, Jordan Stout got passed. So Jordan Stout also to a Pro Bowl season, best season of his career last year. John Harbaugh, he's going to also join John Harbaugh in New York. Same thing with Project Pat Card. He's going to take over at fullback. So that's going to be a really big backfield with Project Pat Card and Cam Scatterbo on the field. This is definitely not a surprise that these guys that went are Harbaugh guys. These guys like him. Also, too, I didn't have a graphic of Darius Washington, also another Raven that's actually going to go play in New York. And we may see more as well, for sure, as we go along here as well. DJ Moore, former Turk, is traded from Chicago to Buffalo. Buffalo badly needing a second receiver. Buffalo badly needs a second receiver. There's no question about it with them. Trent McDuffie goes to the Chiefs, goes from the Chiefs, rather, to the Rams. So they go ahead, traded a first-round pick here last week. So the Rams actually go ahead. They had 2 first rounds. They give one to Kansas City. McDuffie gets an extension with the Rams. Look, the Rams might be, I think, the favorites, at least right now, in the NFC. Because the only really weakness they might have had last year after getting to the championship game was the corner. They go out and get the 2, maybe you could argue 2 best corners on the market. So not only did they go and trade for Trent McDuffie, they also get Jalen Watson from Kansas City, 3 years, $51 million, 34 guaranteed. So that's a lot of money for him to go ahead and get that. A little bit more risky, but again, the defense is so solid. That's probably not, but this is where they needed help. They didn't wait for the draft. They went ahead and got 2 vets. Rick Woolen, definitely one of the part of that outstanding Seattle defense. 1 year, $15 million. The Eagles went ahead and go ahead and sign him. Interesting. Eagles going in the secondary. So Eagles all of a sudden have some issues. Age issues, losing Lane Johnson, possibly their offensive line getting older, trade talk of Jalen Carter, interesting, losing to Kobe Dean, etc. Issues there. Getting Reek Wooten, I think that kind of helps them a little bit with that young secondary. They have Squealers signing Michael Pittman from the Colts. They got a trade going. The Steelers badly needed it. I mean, they badly needed it as well. 3 years, $59 million as well. You got to throw somebody besides DK Metcalf. So that's for sure. Jamel Dean, 3 years, $56 million. Signing good corner, about 30. But again, Steelers, again, badly need corners. So definitely they go in areas. The thing I will, not a Steelers fan, but they always go what they need. They don't just go. This is a franchise. They never go 2-3 off seasons and not address whatever. They address it right away. Good under the radar signing here, Rico Dow. 2 years, 12.25 million as well. I thought he was really good with Carolina last year. So that's actually a pretty good signing as well. I think to me, I think this was the biggest surprise. I think of all the signings, in my opinion, Mike Evans. That's a pretty big contract for a guy. That's a pretty big contract for a guy over 30, had some injury issues, but he's going to 49ers. So the 49ers, and again, no shit. I mean, Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. I've always been a big Mike Evans guy, but he's probably over 30, had some injury issues. They're getting rid of Brandon Ayuk, adding him with a player like this. We'll see how this works, but that's probably more than I thought he would get as well. Couple more here. Didn't have graphics as well. Alex Pierce, 4 years, 116 for the Colts. The Colts had to do it. I think they were just bet the price. I think that was the right thing as well. Go ahead and do that. Jalen Phillips, formerly of the Eagles, traded midseason. Carolina spent some money on him. 4 years, 120. Adafi Owe, 4 years, 100 million. The Commanders, that's too much. that's too much. I think that he also went to the wrong place. I think that's more than probably for sure that I would have paid him, but that's more than I would have done there as well. A couple more. John Franklin Myers from Denver over to the Titans. Titans need help everywhere as well. Let's see. Oh, Kenneth Walker, big time. Chefs getting a Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks. That's a good signing, I think, for them. Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, he probably had the worst running back, I think, starter in the league. I think he's definitely third down back as well. They did get Kenneth Walker. They did lose Brian Cook as well. So he's going from the Chiefs to the Bengals. Bengals absolutely need help on their back end as well. Romeo Doubs heads to the New England. They are losing Stephon Diggs, so that's a good move for them. Travis Etienne, obviously going from Jacksonville to New Orleans. New Orleans definitely needed a running back. New Orleans absolutely had to do it as well. Let's see here. Last night he was talking about Cade Mays. Probably here's a guy went from Carolina, 3 years, 25 million. Definitely a rebuild on the Lions line. Ashley Vera Tucker, absolutely the Pats need help on the offensive line there as well. There you go. All right. So thank you very much for that as well. So a lot of free agent activity as far as the Ravens go and everything. Free agency still going on, but the first couple of days so important in NFL free agency as well.